Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Kat and today I'm going to be setting up my December theme in my bullet journal. So as you can tell, I'm really excited to show you this theme because my theme for December 2025 is going to be Stranger Things. If you're a long-time viewer, this isn't the first time that I do a Stranger Things theme in my bullet journal. I did it back in 2018 when the first season was already out and I was watching the second one. I did it for December 2018, which is kind of like a paradox. I repeated the same theme twice in the same month. But I'm doing it again because I truly love Stranger Things. It's one of my favorite TV shows, and the final 5th season is coming in about a week when I'm posting this. So I'm really excited to watch it and to see how it ends. I didn't do it for the actual November theme because a lot of people were doing it and it felt like it was too early to do it. So I'm just doing for December because each episode it's like a movie. So I'm going to spend my entire December month watching Stranger Things. So let me show you what I did in my Stranger Things theme in my bullet journal for December. So for this theme, I decided to use a bunch of ripped out papers from magazines. I've been collecting a lot of different papers in my junk journal binder, and I collected black ones back in summertime, and I didn't know where I was going to use them, but I saved them just in case, and I thought it would be perfect to do the background for my Stranger Things theme. Not only the show has like a dark aesthetic to it, but it also looks like when the page is ripped, it looks like the portals that Vecna opened at the end of season 4. So I kind of wanted that vibe to be very present into my theme for Stranger Things. Besides that, I'm also going to use some stickers that I printed using my Locklick iCrafter. I got one this year from Locklick and it has been life-changing to print out my stickers for my shop. My shop is going to open back up for Black Friday, so make sure that you go to catsplanner.com and shop your favorite stationeries and sticker sheets. My shop has been closed for 2 weeks now and it's going to stay closed until Black Friday because I'm moving and I had to organize and send out the advent calendars. Thank you so much for everyone who purchased an advent calendar for my shop. My idea for the cover page and the whole theme was to demonstrate what Stranger Things is about as it is right now. For me, the 4th season was really about Vecna and the whole story about it, so I decided to make it my main character for this theme. I saw this poster online where we have a clock behind Vecna and at the center it's 11, and so I thought I would print it really big and make it the main character for my cover page, and then I just printed it Stranger Things, like the opening card at the top. It's a very simple cover page with all the papers and everything. It makes out a very scary and detailed and graphic image of what the 4th season was about. And I was really scared that I wasn't going to have enough paper to rip out everything and to fill in the pages, but it actually lasted me for 3 whole pages, so I'm really happy about it. The theme that I did for Stranger Things back in 2018, I drew basically everything and I just added a few pictures, and it was really centered about the 1st season and the string lights from season 1 in Joyce's house. And this one is more on the scrapbooking, like kind of a recap junk journal page for the whole season of season 4, plus what we can anticipate for season 5. And for the title of my cover page, I knew that I wanted to use the font from Stranger Things, but not in the same way that I did the one in 2018. In 2018, I used the same font and I wrote Stranger Things in December, one in the bottom and one at the top of the page. But this time I wanted to spice things up a little bit, and I got the idea of writing December and having a version of that into the upside down. So I printed the word December vertically, but in 2 different versions. One is written as you read, and the other one is kind of like an inverted one. And that one is going to be on the other side of the page, on my calendar page, looking like it's from the upside down. And I really liked that idea, but I was really scared to actually do it because I didn't know if it was going to work or not. Thankfully, it worked out way better than I was anticipating because I just folded both pieces, and the front one I put on the cover page, and then I quickly did some scrapbooking with the black paper from magazine on my calendar page to stock the December upside down version, and it actually worked out super nicely. The only thing that I don't like is that because I printed this, the background for letters is not actual black, and it has the stripes of my printer because, again, I'm having problems with my printer. I always have problems with printers, but that's besides the point. But as you can see the lines on the prints, and it bothers me a little bit, but what can you do? And the final touch for my title on the cover page was just to cut around the edges, and it kind of looked like an upside down piece, and it reminded me of Vecna's portals, so it all came together. Then for the rest of my cover page, I actually decided to add some shots of some of my favorite scenes from the past seasons. The first one is with Joyce in the lights, when she finally can talk to Will through the lights and it works. And that scene is just so magical and Christmassy that I thought it would blend well together with December and Christmas and Stranger Things. The second one is when the boys discover Mad Max and they are together at the arcade. It's also when Will starts feeling the mind flayer again, so it's kind of like that nostalgia look, but they are reunited again. The third scene that I chose is Billy's death. I really like the character of Billy, and so I really wanted to give him a place on my cover page because he was one of my favorite characters. So I decided to add it to my cover page. Simple as that. And the fourth scene that I chose is when Henry, Vecna, one, whatever, is taking control of Eleven. And as you can see, like in the scene, Henry's side is on the upside down and Eleven is on the normal world. And that is such a precious detail that not a lot of people saw. And I didn't see it when I watched the episodes, but now with the recaps and everything, it's noticeable and I like that little detail on this scene. And to make it all come together with all the reds, I added a bunch of washi tape from Notebook Therapy in this grid pattern to just give it a little bit more color on the background of the pictures. And in the middle, I actually drew an X with the washi tape to make it look like it's a dead-end place and it's a place where you shouldn't go. I decided to do the same calendar that I do for every single month now, which is a vertical one. I wanted to just have a little space for each day. I normally don't add here a lot of things, so just a quick line for me to add any events that are coming up on each day is enough. And I'm going to have a space for my to-do list and for my projects list. For this page, I used a lot of different papers to kind of create the background in black, but I also left some space in the middle to write things down and to not fill up the space with black too much. I like the black details, but when it's too much, it can look a lot cluttered, and I don't like my bullet journal to look like that. So I just added a few papers here and there to fill in the blanks, but I left some of the spaces between boxes empty so it didn't feel too cluttered. For all the boxes, I'm using a Tombow dual brush pen in the shade 847, and for the highlights of the weekends on my calendar, I'm just using a simple Crayola super tip. All the details in black that you see in my bullet journal and my fine liner that I use for my everyday journaling is the Muji 0.38mm pen. This is my favorite pen and I use it whenever I can, and it's the fine liner that I recommend to all journalists that want to use it in their bullet journal. Then for the actual lettering for each section, I didn't know what type of lettering I was going to use for this theme because I didn't want to use the Stranger Things font for everything, but I also didn't want to do messy junk lettering because the whole theme is already too messy. So I ended up printing all of my letters from Pinterest directly. These are basically just red scrapbooking handwritten letters. I use them to write to-dos at the top box and projects at the bottom. My to-dos are just the tasks that I do every single month, and my projects are the projects that I'm working on for the month of December. I fill in the page with more stickers, like the rose from the Harry's house. I wrote 1983 at the top. I added the pizza truck, the lights from Joyce's house, 11 at the lab when we see her having a flashback on season 4, a Coca-Cola cap. This is not specifically from the show, but I thought it would look good to add some extra stickers, not directly from the show, into my theme, so I'm adding one right here. I added the bloody rollerblade, the Hellfire Club logo, the new gang of the Hellfire Club as well, and a cute Demogorgon. My last page for this theme is going to be my habit tracker and my mood and sleep tracker. This page is not going to migrate with me for 2026, I assure you that, just because I'm not really using my mood and sleep tracker because now with the job I kind of have to sleep the same hours every day, so I don't really need to track my sleep that much. And my habits are going to be pretty much the same every single month, so I'm thinking about changing the way I do my bullet journal every month for 2026. But on this page, I also added the background with black paper, and then I added habits at the top and mood and sleep at the bottom. And at the top, I'm going to have 4 grid calendars, each one for a different habit that I didn't wrote in because I don't know which habits I'm going to track in December. I prefer to let the month begin and then I decide which habits I want to track. And I did all of the red in this page with my Tombow dual brush pen, and I added the hours on the left side of the mood and sleep tracker and my emotions on the right side. And at the bottom, I just did the days of the month. At the end of the month, these two habits are going to look completely full. My habit tracker with all the calendars painted over in each square on the days that I actually did that habit. And in my mood and sleep tracker, I'm going to have a graph tracker for my moods and a line bar graph for the hours of sleep that I slept in each day. For this page, in terms of decorations, I added a lot more. I added Max being lifted up into the upside down on the top left corner. I added Eddie Munson on the right side of the pages, playing the guitar solo for Master of Puppets, which is one of the iconic scenes from Stranger Things Season 4. I even added a lightning bolt there just to make it look more like he was actually playing the guitar in my bullet journal. I added Dart at the bottom. I added Hopper in the corner when we thought he was going to die, with a star and the Chief Hawkins police logo. I added 11 and Max and the rest of the gang at the top right corner when they are trying to confront Billy if he has been possessed by the Mind Flayer, and I added the iconic phrase, "Friends don't lie." I added a little hat at the top that says "Will the Wise" on top of the B for habits, and it looks like the B is wearing the hat. And I added Max and Lucas at the cinema, like the little drawing that she did when she was being lifted up, because I feel like those two are connected somehow. That also saved her. So next to that picture, I also added the Running Up That Hill cassette that she listened to throughout the whole season. And the last detail was to add this, I think this is a collage from Pinterest. I saw it on Pinterest first, of all the boys and 11 and Max and everything with little like handwritten things on the photos. And I thought it would look really great as a junk journal attachment into my bullet journal. And I also added Dart at the bottom because he's so cute. And these are all the pages that I created in my bullet journal for my December 2025 theme of Stranger Things. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the last month in my bullet journal for 2025. I can't wait to create my 2026 pages. Let me know if you're excited for Stranger Things Season 5 also. I am so excited. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!